Recently, I had a trip to Cancun, Tulum, and Valladolid in Mexico. As always, I wanted to look up something about the Jewish communities. Not much was found apart from the good old Chabad that is always everywhere, providing refuge to all the Jews and non-Jews, no matter if they live in the area or just passing by. Mexico has around 40 to 50,000 Jews, primarily Ashkenazi and Sephardic. Before we get to the Chabad at Tulum, you need to see some footage of the real Tulum. Not the one you see on Instagram by influencers or like this one. Yes, I'm guilty. But the real one where locals live like in a third world country. I felt awful about this discrepancy and everything just felt so wrong. You could feel and see the local communities being exploited for us, the tourists. But you could also feel the presence of cartels. You see random guys with guns, and as opposed to Israel, this time it didn't make me feel safe. But back to Chabad. By the time I got there, I went through some very shady areas, as you can see. And entering the gates, I could not have my perfectionism kicking in, pointing out the missing letter. Sorry, basics. The first building was a kitchen where I saw the women cooking for Chabad. I entered and asked if the rabbi was there, but nobody spoke English, so they asked the chef to come out for me. A young guy answered and the rabbi wasn't there, but someone asked is at the building. So he escorted me there, and entering there, I actually saw a young guy praying for lunch. His English was rather poor, so I talked to him in Hebrew and surprised myself because I could explain who I was and what I wanted. I also learned that he was from Israel and moved here a couple of months ago to help the rabbi. He told me that for Shabbat they usually have around 60 people and the usual Chabad programs throughout the week. Before I left, I noticed the rabbi on the wall. I asked if I recognized well the Lubavitcher chair. And he said, yeah, Barur, of course. I mean, not bad for a non-Jew, right? He asked me to come back for Shabbat dinner, but I had other engagements by then. So leaving the Chabad house and garden, I found myself on the dirty slumber streets again, and I still couldn't deal with the dichotomy. What I did look up about Mexican Jewry, though, is that the Mexican Jewish community is very active, and 95% of the members are affiliated with Jewish religious life. Most of them are identifying as Orthodox and conservative. And there are some sad stories as well. Just this March, a 20-year-old Israeli woman was killed and 4 other Israelis were injured in a major car accident not so far from Tulum. And in 2019, Israeli crime boss Tel Avivian Ben Thusi was assassinated in Mexico. Unfortunately, when you check the crime data, Israelis are among the 7 most active criminal groups in the area. That's pretty sad. And indeed, Israelis were all over, but I only saw the good ones. And I ate the best falafel while listening to a group of guys discussing football. So I hope, you learned something. This was another wrap of my short experience and vlog.